Let's get some discussion on this. Joining me now is Independent MP Dai. Let's talk about the same-sex book ban first. Do we really need such moral vetting of our reading material?
Good morning, Cheng. Lovely to be with you. Can I first say this? What we need to be reminded of here in this whole discussion is children. It's so critical that children, no matter what faith, what background, what cultural background, what upbringing, our children need to be so protected. So we've got to be careful what this message, what Councillor Steve Christou is doing here, that's impacting children. My understanding is this book is about bullying as well, for same-sex parents, about bullying. Now, I understand we live in a very multicultural and multi-faith communities. In some communities, Christians, Muslim faith, and certain cultural groups have traditional views around parenting and around, same-sex or male-female families relationship. So for me, books is about learning. Libraries is there to provide thousands and thousands of books for people to go in and choose what books they read. Now, unless there's been thousands of people from that council demanding this, then perhaps, the councillor, Steve Christou, had, made the right decision. I don't know what his residents, what his community have asked him to do. But I think we need to really remember children at the core of this, and we need to ensure whatever we are adding fuel to here in this conversation, that children are the centre of this conversation, that they need to be protected, because my concern is that what will happen to children of same-sex couples, how will they be treated, and in the classroom now, in the playground, with this kind of discussion happening. Now, if that book was in a toddler section, it's adults who are going there to borrow books. Now, if it's in a section, maybe put it in a more age appropriate or more appropriate section, or categorize it. But I think we should really, what other books? What do we stop next? We have to be so careful about the kids here.
We want to protect the children, but it's still the adults who provide the reading material, who guide them with regards to reading.
It's up to the individual what they choose. It's up to the individual what they choose to go and borrow from a library.
Yep. China bans books. All right, let's talk about next week's budget. Obviously, as the independent MP for Fowler, the western suburbs are very concerned about cost of living. What sort of policies would you like to see in things like housing, HECS, energy relief?
Well, I've been, obviously, since my election, I've been calling for the either freezing the HECS or reduction of the HECS, and it's great. It's welcoming news to see that the government is going to do something about the HECS debt. So we'll wait to see the details, because we don't know the details yet around the whole HECS help debt. The other part is around electricity prices. It's still very much an issue for me in terms of energy prices, bills continuously going up, and what will the government do around that. Another one that I've been advocating for is the extension of the excise fuel tax cut. Now, petrol prices, as we have seen and witnessed, continue to rise. So for people out here in Western Sydney, for a large proportion of our community, they drive long distances for work. So how, we need to ensure that we are providing the government should provide some kind of relief there.